Want to get back with all those stocks that hit new highs yesterday? Plenty of them, more than 70 in the S&P 500. Now, not all of them were big tech names. Not all of them. There were some utilities, there were some consumer goods companies, and yes, there were manufacturers. On that note, here is Peter Navarro. Peter's with us this morning. Peter, welcome to the program. Good to see you again.
Been too long, my friend. Good to see you.
Yes, sir. I'm reading a headline from the leftist Economic Policy Institute. Trump has not brought manufacturing jobs back. You want to answer that?
Sure. We were able to go up over 500,000 manufacturing jobs when in the previous administration, Joe Biden and Barack Obama lost 200,000. One of the things that really heartened me last week was the ISM Manufacturing Index really popped up again. I think it's around 56 now, which is a very robust number, Stuart. And I think that we are continuing to work hard to make sure that the men and women who work with their hands have good jobs at good wages, and that's a primary focus of President Trump in mind.
Now, sometimes it seems to me that China is actually doing better than us emerging from the virus. What's your comment on that?
We are focused on defeating the China virus. They are doing what they're doing. We like our economy better than theirs. They have obviously a mercantilist, protectionist economy. Ours is a free market, free trading economy. But what we're focused on right now, Stuart, is getting folks back to work. And I think some of the untold stories of this pandemic is how we're actually creating jobs at the same time we're defeating the virus. If you look, for example, at the state of Maine, you have in Guilford, Maine, a really big ramp up of the Puritan company to make swabs. If you go to Scarborough, Maine, one of the really bright spots in one of my favorite companies, Abbott Labs, they're tip of the spear for our virus testing. And it was great news last week when Abbott was able to announce the point-of-care test, over 100 million point-of-care tests, like pregnancy tests, we're going to be able to get into homes. So you see that. You see in Rhode Island and Arizona, the N95 mask production. So what President Donald J. Trump loves to do, besides do the macro stimulus, is really go at the grassroots, Stuart, at the micro level and create jobs that way, whether it's shipyards in Marinette, Wisconsin, or Philadelphia, or in the panhandle of Florida.
What do you make of the CDC telling states, hey, get ready for vaccine distribution on a mass scale November the 1st, a couple of days before the election? Is that kind of a November surprise? It's a very aggressive timetable.
So my role as the Defense Production Act Policy Coordinator is pretty simple related to the vaccines. My role is to help make sure we have the delivery system for mass distribution of the vaccines when it is ready. So I'm focused on things like vials that companies like Corning are making, or injector systems to actually deliver the virus. So that's all I know. And the one thing I know about this president is using the Defense Production Act. We have been able to engineer the fastest industrial mobilization, the biggest one since World War II. And this vaccine development is, if we're able to get to the finish line with it by the end of the year, it'll be done in a third of the usual time. And the way we're doing that is not cutting corners. It's simply doing this in a way where we're going through the trials, but also preparing the mass delivery of the vaccines, which would be very good news for the American people, Stuart.
I want to ask you about the House Oversight Panel that's investigating your cancellation of a ventilator contract with Health and Human Services. Can you give me an update on the status of that investigation?
No, I can't. I really have no comment on it as it's an investigation. The only thing I can tell you is that contract was negotiated by Health and Human Services, and they began investigating Phillips before anything that happened at the House.
Are you the tough guy in the economics department and the economics section of the White House? That's your reputation, you know. Tough guy.
I'm a pussycat, Stuart. I'm the nicest guy in the world. But my job. Look, here's the thing, Stuart. I view myself as a soldier for the greatest president in history, President Donald J. Trump, and particularly in this pandemic. My job is to do two things: to help this president save lives and help this president keep and create jobs. So that's what I focus on. And every day in my office, we're doing 30 different things focused on that mission. And right now, for example, the Strategic National Stockpile, we call it 2.0. We've been able to not only make it bigger and fill it, but also make it smarter. So as we fight this virus, that's all I'm focused on. I'm a nice guy, Stuart, just like you, right?
You're a tough guy. We're going to leave it at that, Navarro, Peter, no matter what you say. We'll see you soon, Peter. Thanks
Not a bad thing to be in D.C.
Very true, sir. Very true
Yes,
indeed.
sir.